Sorry, I'm just on my phone here. I am not plugged in to any power, so if my phone dies, sorry about that. Let me see if I can rotate this actually. Nope, orientation is locked. Sorry guys, it is what it is. I don't even know if my Wi-Fi will work out here in the backyard, but just had a nice swim in the 20-foot swim spa. For a swim against it, had a little bit of fun. It's been a crazy day. One, I'm sick, and you can probably hear it, but congested and sick. Two, just moved in to my new house, so been dealing with that. If you can hear me, let me know. I don't know if the chat's even on right now, but I figured I'd go live. I had to re-download the app twice in order to go live. It was preventing me from going live for some reason. I'm not sure why. I know I'm a long ways away from the internet box, so I don't know if you guys can see or hear me right now. Hopefully the internet's working. I just hooked it up an hour ago. Rogers isn't even hooked up yet. We just had the bell. I got both going on at the house, so yeah, it's peaceful back here. I wish I could give you guys a little tour of the estate. It's nice. We got the carriage house there. It's 1,200 square feet up, 1,200 square feet down. It's 2,400 square foot guest house, and then my house is I don't even know, 6,000 square feet. So it's a beast. If I try to walk with you guys, I don't even know if it'll disconnect or not. It's worth a shot. Let's try. I own way on top of this retaining wall. I own way back. We got some beautiful apple and pear trees that are coming into season just over in that part. This is a place you can write a book right here. How nice is this waterfall? That's nice. Throwing axes. I don't know if you guys can hear or not. The Wi-Fi might be cutting out again. Yeah, it's good. It's great. It's a beautiful place. Pictures I'll be posting there. It's needs some love. Cosmetic, really only. Luckily, I have a plan to add on. It currently has a 3-car oversized detached garage with 11-foot doors, and then it has a 2-car attached garage right now. I'd like to make the attached garage a 5-car. I'm putting a 2.5 addition on it. I have to apply for permits and get drawings done and stuff, so I'm a ways away from that. But then connect that in some way to the detached garage carriage house, so that when you drive up to the driveway behind the front of the house, you don't see any garages. Just a beautiful big 2-story house, and then as you drive in, there's 2 gates to get in. It's got a half-moon driveway out front, and then it wraps around in the back. And if you go in the main driveway, there's gonna be gates that open, and then in the main driveway there, up the back, and I'm hoping there'll be an 8-car garage facade. It's gonna be sweet, and that's what I need really to I plan to stay at this house for a long time. As long as I stay in Canada, I'll stay in this house most likely. But I've always had an eye on exit value, and it's important to think that at this level, I know that the amenities that people want. I know that they want those modern ensuite bathrooms. I know that they want those, vaulted fireplaces. I know they want that 7-8-car garage. I know they want archery. They want amenities like an in-ground pool and a hot tub. And they want axe throwing and zip lining, and they want to see the basketball court, and they want the little golf hill. So I'm going to put all that stuff in so that when the next person buys my estate, I have a huge upside. And so that's the play there with this place. It'll be a full burr. I unfortunately had to close that in cash, which really sucks. That's what you don't want. Like, any Dave Ramsey followers in here are probably like, yeah, debt-free, woohoo, mortgage-free. That's the worst thing possible. I've tied up $15,000 a month in opportunity cost by buying my house in cash. To save myself, my mortgage payment would have been $4,000 a month? Like, something like that. I don't know, I have to run the numbers, but probably like $4,000 a month, right? Maybe a bit more, depending on the interest rate. You can get like 1.2% 5-year variable right now, so it's almost free money. And it sucked to cash out my options portfolio at a loss. I still haven't recovered fully from the short squeeze where my entire portfolio was liquidated. So unfortunately, I had cash out at a loss, which sucks. But I'm 100 and, you guys can see I can't really grow much anyway, but and it's kind of gangly. But I am 122 grand away from being able to shave this off, back to break even. so to speak. Not all-time highs on the account this year, but back to break even. So that's the pact that I made, and I'm going to honor that. I've been crawling from 1.55 mil loss back to now, less. It's been shrinking day in and day out. And I think that, my new strategy is a lot more conservative. I'm trying to, and I've done some risky plays, calculated risky plays to get back, get my account back. But my long-term strategy on the options trading front is definitely to focus just on quality companies that I'm willing to hold for a long time, run the options wheel on it, get assigned at a discount. That's okay. If I don't get assigned, money for nothing. I get option premium for nothing. If I get assigned, start selling covered calls on it until they get called away. Otherwise, I get to own great companies that pay great dividends, solid fundamentals, and then collect, covered call premiums. And, best case scenario is the covered calls just expire out of the money and the stock's gone up in value, but I don't have to give the shares away and I got all that covered call premium. Or the call expires and then the stock shoots up. That's the goal. So yeah, thanks guys. Tour. Yeah, I'll give you a tour later. I've got 3 kids and a dog, and we're in the swim spa there. So they're in the bath and kids are screaming and running around, and my mom's here, and my brother's just leaving. So we got family all in the house. I'll give you guys a tour. The highlight really is the center of the house where the great room is. It's got like 14-foot ceilings, beautiful great room, and then open to the kitchen and dining. It's just a beautiful layout. It is unorthodox. Like this house, the reason I got it for what I did is that it needs a lot. Like there's a lot of things that are wrong with it, and not major structural, but little things that people don't like. Cosmetically, it even has like on the back here. This is the most bummy part of my whole house. Is this back addition here? Like that's in siding. It should be in stone. Like what's going on here? Even the doors, like just old doors. You want me to try to walk you guys around? I don't know. I can walk around the outside of my house. Let's go for a little walk. I don't know if the signal's gonna, like I'm way connect that. If you guys can see, but that's a 11-foot door. So it's got 11-foot ceilings in here, so it's 22 feet high. But there's where we're gonna add on 2-car garage, 3-car garage, and then connect it all the way around, wrap this in stone, get rid of the siding. Siding is for, siding is not a $2 million house. But anyway, my garage over this way, it does have guest suite, 2-story guest suite attached. That was done, I don't know, 80s or something. Has 2 separate addresses. You guys can see there's actually a huge development across the road. I don't even know if you guys got Wi-Fi right now, if you can even see me. Who knows? Let's walk around the estate here. You guys can see. That's all mine. There's a barrage of traffic. You can see they're developing all around me. I can walk to the McDonald's and a bunch of other cool amenities, which is pretty sweet. Got an 1.5 acres right in the city in a prime location. Just big U-shape wraparound driveway. So you come in, there's one driveway over here and one driveway over here. It wraps around. Sorry, the house is a mess. We just moved in, but there's the front of it. It has huge additions off the back, actually. So from the front, it doesn't actually look like that big of a house, really. And the trees kind of cover most of it. But that's kind of the front elevation there. I don't know if you guys can. But yeah, it's a beef. It doesn't look like it, but it sure is. We're in a beautiful house. Internet's super spotty here, guys. You guys can see this. Got 9.5-foot ceilings in here. We are trying to figure out what we're gonna do with this room. It's like the 3rd living room. But you can't really tell the height here yet. 11-foot ceilings. Kitchen's a mess. But yeah, we got a lot of work to do here. There's some cool elements like the dishwashers. It looks like a cabinet, and you've got wine fridges and fancy granite and built-in stoves and this kind of stuff. And a view to kill for. Oh, just a beautiful, beautiful view out here. It's a nice property. I'll give you a tour guide later, guys. Let's go sit down and do some Q&A. I guess it's some questions. I get some answers for you guys. I can extend this fireplace all the way up 10 feet. I'm not going to give you the master bedroom tour or the other 5 bedrooms. Doesn't matter. Let's go back outside. Whoa. Don't have my, whoa. Don't have my cameras held down here properly. All right, let's go sit down here again. Oh, can you see me? Where am I? Yeah, so it's a beautiful, beautiful property. It is not like a mansion per se, but it definitely has, you know, some really great advantages. We've got an amazing security system set up on this place. I'm super excited about that. We've got all the doors are on lock systems. I've got hidden cameras all over the property, which is pretty sweet to be able to, you know, monitor all that. I've got it all mapped out. We'll get the gates going in with the security camera and the buzz-in, so safety when, you know, the world goes to hell. We've been talking, you know, on this channel briefly about, you know, where I think Canadian politics are going, and there's a large group of have-nots who don't want to work and they want to take, right? And it makes me weary of staying in Canada. But I will say that I'm prepared to leave Canada if I have to, but if I'm going to stay, I'm going to put up a fight, right? I think that, you know, in short order, in the next 10 years or so, totally doable to, you know, have drones that fly over your house that have stun capacity, right, to protect yourself. Like, I was talking to a friend about this. They have drones that you can fly up that can kill someone from a mile and a half away. Like, combat doesn't even happen hand to hand anymore. It's like, phew, you're dead from someone you couldn't even see in the sky. That's where we're going in the future, and it's a scary place to be when we go into that world. But yeah. Okay, so those are some tall trees, beautiful yard. Thanks, William. Appreciate that. Yeah, there's some beautiful. You know, there's like some good 70-foot trees on the property, which I'm going to plant more actually and get more of that. I wish I could take you guys back, but the signal will cut out. I own some land in behind, and there's a beautiful 100 acres of fields and then forests beyond that. Just a beautiful view up there, way up on the hill. It's my favorite spot on the whole property, to be honest. Why did you pay in cash, maxed out on mortgage? So Jordan, to answer your question, the first part is why did I pay cash? One is I believe that I bought significantly under market value and that I'll be able to realize the increased value. And if I had bought with an A-lender and that an A-lender mortgage purchase, I'd have to then discharge that, pay fees to discharge, legal fees to re-register, et cetera, and so forth. So I was hoping to save some of those. The second part is, flat out, truth be told, I got declined. I didn't get a hard decline, I got a soft decline. They were like, approved, but not the loan to value you want. Approved, but you have too many rental properties. Drop the number of rental properties. So I don't know why, but Scotiabank seems to be extremely bearish on, they have a high net worth exemption. You can get a primary mortgage if you have 5 rental properties or less. The program doesn't apply if you have more than 5 rental properties, is what they told me. So they're like, come back to us with 5 rental properties in your personal name. I'm like, so I can move them to a corp and you're fine. Like, yep, just not in your personal name. So anyway, opportunity, actually, I'm trying to exit some of these properties. Opportunity is, I've got 12 properties still in my personal name. I've got a load in the corp, which is fine. Those I don't do anything with those. But the 12 that we have in our personal name, I have to get down to 5. So I need to remove 6 properties from my personal name ASAP. If anyone watching this or watching the replay has the ability to qualify for an A-lender mortgage, I've got A-lender mortgages on them now. That's talking BMO, Scotia, TD, whatever. 80% loan to value. If you can qualify, I will offer one of 2 things. One, I will offer to joint venture the property, put it in your name, qualify for the mortgage. I'll put all the money up. It's a 0 down deal. Nothing. You can have my property, operate it. We'll do a 50-50 split on profit, something like that, just for you holding the mortgage. So it's out of my name. That's an option. I don't want to go through the work to remove it into my corp and then requalify for a mortgage again. That's an anal probing. They go through my bank accounts. They go through my lease. They want leases on every unit that I have. They want, and I can do it all. It's a lot of work to do it 6 times. I could do it once or twice, but it's a real pain. So if anyone out there wants to partner up, or if you just want to buy my property and I'll put a vendor take back, I'll put a second mortgage on it for your down payment, cool. I'm happy to help with that and facilitate for someone who wants it. I've got some triplexes, duplexes in London, some student rentals that are all very cash flow positive, fantastic properties. I own them for a reason. I like them. So there's an opportunity there for someone who's hungry and wants that and wants to qualify. Add another property to your portfolio for none of your own money. I'll cover it all. We'll JV it. You can have a no money down deal. And it already has management in place. I have crappy management in place. I'll be honest. Like the property managers I have are not great right now. The one guy I've got, he's okay. But I mean, I haven't found any really great property managers, to be honest. So I don't know. It's an opportunity for someone who wants it. So hit me up if you're super serious about that. Looks like Mike has better internet. So yeah, I mean, debatable. The Rogers box, I had it. I was gonna plug it in, and then I lost it in the move. I don't know where I set it, in one of the bedrooms, something, I don't know. Set it down and lost it. So yep, I will hopefully find it, and then I'll have faster internet next time. So we have okay internet. I have Bell and Rogers. Same way in this new house, there's 2 geothermal heating systems. One for, and I didn't show you the other unit, but there's the other unit there. It has 2. The house is too big to have 1 heating system. In the same way, the house is too big for 1 internet. It needs Bell and Rogers. It can't, you could do extenders and try to extend everything, but I like to have better network coverage. Rogers has faster internet here, but less consistent. Bell has slower internet, but it's super consistent. So pros and cons. I just like to have both. The resiliency, it helps, especially with like, if you're gonna do like, business or Skyping or crypto mining, things like that, they all require stable internet, and having a fail-safe if one goes down is super key. Yeah. Looking like Mike has better internet, and Phil says, dude, you can run a hotel on this. It looks like one, worst case scenario. Phil, hotel isn't the vibe I'm going for. More estate vibe. If you follow him at Mike Rosehart on Instagram, you can see some pictures, but I appreciate the compliment. I think you were going for a compliment, so I'll take it. You definitely could, it's got a lot of square footage. You definitely could hack it up and put a bazillion rooms. Like any house that's 5,000 or 6,000 square feet, you could hack up, but this house is nice. It's got, it's got a unit that, I don't know if they built it that way in the 70s. It looks like, there's 2 separate septic systems on the property. I'm on my own well, which is amazing considering there's city water there. I hate city water. I don't want them to feed, the chemicals, the chlorine, the crap into me. I prefer my own water. I'll purify it myself. Thank you. I don't want to pay a connection fee. I also don't want to connect to the infrastructure of the city. I'm good being on my own. I'm likely going to put a solar installation on my roof and then also crypto mine. I think I want to be self-sufficient. I don't have any interest in relying on city water, city sewer, or city hydro, to be honest. That's just a vision for myself, but where was I going with this? I forget my point, but yeah, I mean, great self-sufficient property, pretty awesome. So much potential. Super excited for that. If Canada, turns around, I could definitely see myself staying here, until my kids are adults. It has that much potential. I could, put a pool in a pool house project, or I could, there's so many cool projects I could do here that I could be busy for years just tinkering all the things I could do to maximize the potential here. So yeah, super excited for that. Thanks, Andrew. Look at the replay. Thanks, Will. Appreciate it. What are your thoughts on each party's housing platform? For example, the Liberals' first home savings account. Snake Eyes 11, to be honest with you, I despise the Liberals. I do not like Justin Trudeau at all. Everything he stands for, it doesn't matter what he promises, I don't trust him at all, and I believe that he's bringing an authoritarian, regime where like the vaccine passports, as an example, is a terrible idea. I think that there's way better ways to go about handling this pandemic, and he's done a terrible job. But looking at their platform just from a housing perspective, either way, it's a win. I know this sounds crazy, but like the NDP with Jagmeet Singh, he wants to bring in a $5,000 rent credit to all tenants. He wants to increase capital gains tax to 75%. That's a loss, but hear me out. Even the socialist, when he hands out and prints all this money, he has no plan to, to pay back that printing. Guess what happens to the price of real estate? It goes up. When you hand every tenant in Canada $5,000 cash, guess what happens? There's a bidding war because there's a limited supply. So what happens is all the rents jump up, which then increases the net operating income, which then increases the value of all the buildings because they're valued based on their income. So when he drives rents up with his platform policies, I win. So if he gets elected, I'll pay more tax when I go and sell them, but I'll make a lot more rent and it'll inflate the values. Liberals, same thing, to be honest. They're probably the worst of the three options, to be honest, but at least they're kind of centrist and not a lot of change will happen. If you look at, our conservative play, it's like a Republican party, they want to bring the 1031 exchange to Canada, essentially. That's amazing. I love that is in their platform. I'll be voting conservative. Most of the people I know are going to be voting conservative. But you got to remember that if you poll people based on socioeconomic status, what you typically find is the wealthier the person is, the more likely they are to vote right, to vote conservative or to vote Republican. You can pretty much correlate that. The poorer you are, the more likely you are to be a socialist or communist, because you stand to benefit selfishly from policies that will help you. That's just how people are. What's gonna help me and my family? That's what everyone thinks. I wish people were more altruistic. I wish they were, thinking, hey, if I voted for a conservative party, that would create jobs and grow our economy. We would net better as a country. They're like, no. What's better now? Who cares if it's gonna be better in 20 years? They think what's better right now. And often that means taking from those who are producing, get them to produce less as a result, and then spread it around to those who are not producing, which isn't a fair distribution, but we need some of that. It's important in society to have some redistribution of wealth, and there needs to be those programs that help people to rise up and avoid, poverty. I grew up in poverty, so I can say it's 100% a mindset issue and 100% a situation of circumstance, more than anything else. We were dealt a bad set of cards, but you can still play that hand better, right? And a lot of people are like, oh, I'm dealt a shitty set of cards. I work minimum wage job. I got a couple kids, single mom. I can't get ahead. Like, that was the mindset. My mom was always trying to improve, but that was the mindset that a lot of people had. I grew up around. It didn't have a lot of money, right? So, yeah, it's, yeah. Next question. Greetings from Spain. Hello. Greetings from Canada. Extreme Clean says, how would we be able to talk about a VTB? I'm new and hungry to learn. So, if you can qualify for an A-lender mortgage, which means you have more than $70,000 or $80,000 in income, you could probably qualify for my properties. My cheapest one is probably $500,000. I've got a triplex that's like $900,000. So in that range, you have to be able to qualify for it. The property will help you qualify because it has income of its own, but you definitely would need to have a certain amount of income to qualify. The other thing is you have to be able to show the proof of down payment. Even though I'm providing you the vendor take back, the bank doesn't want to see that. They never want to see you have no money in the deal. You can put it on and do it on closing, but you have to show, hey, I have the cash to buy this 20% down myself, and then I would swoop in and provide that cash for you. But you have to show that you can actually qualify for it on your own, of your own funds. So that's a stipulation, which means you have to already be somewhat successful with a steady job to be this person that I'd be looking for to partner with. Or if you're looking to buy my properties, I'd throw you a vendor take back. I gotta get rid of 6 of these to qualify for a new mortgage on this house through the net worth program. Maybe there's another way. I'm gonna try another private bank and see if it works better there. I've already threatened to move my massive stock portfolio. It's gonna get to a point where, like, if you have like a $5 or $10 million stock portfolio or larger, and you bring it to a bank, you're like, hey, condition of me bringing this here is you gotta give me a mortgage. Most of them will bend. Surprisingly, not Scotiabank, but I'm gonna sell my shares in Scotiabank. There you go. Screw you, Scotiabank. They want, what's funny? I just gotta make this comment. I've made it like 10 times before, but I'll make it again. They would rather me be broke. They would rather someone who has $100,000 in income, no businesses, nearly no assets. They're happier lending to that person than someone who has $10 million and tons of dividends and tons of income and all that kind of crap from their investments and their assets. Like, to deplete millions of dollars in assets, it takes a long, long time where you could lose your job tomorrow. But the bank's cool lending to the guy who has nothing with $100,000 salary. But as soon as you lose your job, or you quit your job, or you early retire, oh, no, sorry, we can't lend you. When you have 3 years of financial statements, 2 years of financial statements, which takes you 3 years to get, of consistent income, then we'll lend to you based on the trailing average from 2 years ago. We don't care what you're making now. We care what you made 2 years ago as an entrepreneur. We don't trust entrepreneurial income, but we trust the job you could lose tomorrow. We trust the job that your friend could hook you up with. Like, it just is so stupid, such a dumb system. But yeah. Considering moving to Calgary, but this, yeah, I don't know. I guess Calgary is pretty conservative. Most of the, as you go west, it gets more and more conservative, more and more right wing until you get to BC, and then their conservative party is basically the Liberal Party, and their Liberal Party is basically the NDP, like in Vancouver. So true. Canada seems to do a better job of lifting people than the States. This is true. I mean, we have free healthcare. It sucks, but it's free. You wait forever, you might die waiting for surgery, but it's free, and it's equal for everyone. I would much prefer a two-tiered system where I could get access to healthcare immediately whenever I wanted it because I am wealthier, but that's not how Canada works. We decide that people are more equal, right? And so if you have 5 kids and you stay at home, you make the same after tax as a lawyer. The Canada Child Benefit pays $600 a child, tax-free if your income's less than $30,000 a year. So make $30,000 a year, stop working, because after that, you start getting clawed back at a 75% tax rate. Why would you work? If you have kids, more than 2 kids, it makes no sense to work in this country. That's a Canadian thing. They're like, hey, I have single moms apply to my units. I had a single mom with a face tattoo who just had like 6 kids from 6 different dudes. And she's like, yeah, I'm making $60,000 after taxes. I'm like, what do you want? She's like, oh, I'm on welfare, and I'm getting government support, getting the Trillium benefit, and I'm getting the Ontario child benefit and the Canadian child benefit, the CCB. And I looked at it and I was like, and it was true. In her bank account, she was making 60 grand a year. A lawyer or a doctor making 100 grand a year after taxes, CPP and EI, makes 60 grand a year in Canada. Actually, like 120 grand a year is like 60 grand a year in Canada after CPP and EI. She was making the same as a doctor or a lawyer. And what did she do? She banged 6 different dudes and had a face tattoo. That's Canada. So on one side, like, Canada's got some real problems with people sucking from the social system. It would be great if they incentivize people to work or to volunteer and contribute to society. I get if you have 6 kids that it's kind of hard to contribute to society. Your contribution to society is those 6 kids. I know I have 3, 5 and under, and it's hard to do anything else. Yeah, anyway, my rant ends. Canada's, if you make less than 100 grand a year in Canada, it's an amazing place to retire. You can collect $50,000 per spouse in tax-free dividend income. Done a video on it, talked about it in the past. I plan to retire in Canada until I had more success than I expected. I now will never make 100 grand a year. Like, 100 grand a year would be the worst year ever for me. Like, that'd be setting my sights so low, right? So, yeah, I mean, the majority, actually, for Canada, it's a good place to live. If you're in the top 1%, though, Canada's not so great. There's a lot of better tax havens. I'd rather live somewhere else for 7 months a year, come back to Canada for 5 months a year. Come here from, like, for the whole summer, like spring and leave in the fall, and then come back after the winter. Enjoy Canada, but not be a resident here for taxes. Like, still have my Canadian passport, but my residency being in, like, the Bahamas or Costa Rica or somewhere where I'm not taxed on foreign income. And then I can make $1 million or $2 million a year, almost tax-free, and enjoy all the benefits of Canada 5 months a year. That's the end game, right? But yeah, I gotta go help with the kids pretty soon here. Sorry it's gonna be a shorter video, and apologies for being a few minutes tardy, a few minutes late, but I had to jump in. It was our first time in the swim spa, and I didn't want to miss that over a live stream. So, Harriet, so 120K is $85,000 a year after tax, but are they factoring in the health tax, CPP, cost your employer 5%, and I'm talking about a lawyer or a doctor who's self-employed. CPP costs you 5% as the employer, and another almost 5% as the employee. That's 10% of your income right there. So on 120,000 gross, there's 12,000 gone right there. And then you have EI, which is another 4%. 4%. You have workers' comp, which you have to pay into, which is another 2%. So, and then you have, obviously your federal tax or Ontario tax. Approximately, if you're a doctor or a lawyer, 120 grand is going to net you like 65, 70 net, which is the same as someone on welfare with 6 kids who screwed 6 different dudes from ages 16 to 24, and they're good. For the next 18 years, they're set, and they'll collect the government pokey. So I'll be honest, if you don't have kids in Canada, other than the CERB that we were getting, which is now dried up, I think, hopefully. Yeah, other than that, I would say, yeah, it's probably best to, get a job, invest in your future. During your kids' younger years, maybe it's best to invest in your skills so you can pop off once your kids are older, then you can start earning a bunch of income. So just work on developing your skills, I guess. There's lots of ways to game the system, and people do game the system. At the end of the day, hopefully people can all work together and contribute to make society better. We all work together, regardless of what the tax system is. It unfortunately incentivizes a lot of things, but yeah. Wish I had our TV on the wall. The TV's on the floor in there. We have a 65-inch curve in there right now, and it looks tiny. We need like a 100-inch TV just for that room to feel, for it to feel all right. It's crazy how far I've gone. When I retired, I ended 2016 when I pulled the parachute to retire early. It's been a while now, over 4 years. Coming up on 5 years almost soon. But in that time, I was living in a duplex, house hacking with a tiny little duplex, and it was, to me, it's crazy how far I've come. So, yeah, that's just the way the light is today. I don't know what to tell you. Thanks for the positive comment. Looks like I'm wearing eyeliner, he says. Hello. All this pretending is ending. I don't know what that even means, but I've never watched it live before finally meeting. Awesome. Brock says, thanks for all you do, Mike. Appreciate it. Hey, no problem, guys. Appreciate you guys, too. I need to get some rest, go have some garlic, go have some vitamin C. I'm fighting off something here, so maybe it's the COVID. You guys should see Joe Rogan. He got COVID, and it was bad for 2 days, and he recovered. Like, my property manager got it. I had 25 tenants that got COVID. A bunch of friends got it. Contractors I know got it. A bunch of people have had it, and they've all recovered. I know there's been some real sad cases, and I'm sorry if you've been through that. One of my really good friends, his dad just got the second vaccine and died. I was just at a funeral on the weekend in Toronto. It's really sad. They don't know if the vaccine caused it, but very likely the heart condition was related to the second vaccine. So the vaccine kills you too. I mean, very low amounts of people die from the vaccine. If you're over 40 and you are health risk, you have asthma or something like that, you should probably get the vaccine. Like, the data shows the probability of getting COVID times the probability of getting seriously ill, getting COVID, if you're over 50, is, it warrants probably getting the vaccine, probably wearing a mask and being safe. I know lots of people my age that have had COVID. It's no big deal. 1 in 1,000 are having a real issue. If you take vitamin C and vitamin D, I take 6 tablets of vitamin C, 10 tablets of vitamin D. I'm popping raw garlic, oregano oil. I'm drinking Sambucol, which is basically elderberry syrup juice. I'm popping zincs like they're going out of style. It has a hard time taking you down if you're on zinc. And then there's the whole, I haven't looked into it, but ivermectin and all that kind of stuff. If they actually implemented some of these regimes into people early enough, the probability of you ending up in a hospital is very, very low. The problem is people don't sleep adequately. And when they start getting symptoms, they don't start popping, 10 times the vitamin D, 10 times the vitamin C, zinc, especially zinc. You need to be hammering the zinc. And then, of course, tons of garlic and tons of elderberry syrup and all that stuff. You start with the natural stuff. I can kick a cold in 2-3 days that would have lasted 2-3 weeks. Your body has power to heal. You've got to give it the fuel to do that and the support that it needs to heal. So most people don't do that, and it's unfortunate. So for the majority, the vaccine's a good idea. Derek says I don't even get colds. Wait till you have 3 kids 5 and under that touch everything. I was at Ripley's Aquarium last weekend, and they were rubbing their hands and tongues and everything. They always get sick. And then your kids, they sleep with you and then they cough in your face, and it's hard not to get sick. Especially, I had a 4-hour sleep. My kids were all up all hours of the night, and I got 4 hours sleep, which is dad life with 3 kids 5 and under and a dog, and running a business and everything else. But That's when I got sick, is I slept 4 hours, 2 nights in a row. My body was like, oh, I'm gonna punish you. Like, you're gonna punish me, I'm gonna punish you. And so now I need a good night's sleep, and I had to move, so like I had to push myself today. So I've been popping I'm gonna pop some vitamins, and yeah, life's good, guys. Life's good. I feel blessed. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. You know, he's allegedly not a horse, says Vice. What does that even mean? I'm so confused. Anyhow, yeah, I'm gonna end this stream now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on Instagram at Mike Rosehart. It's a beautiful, beautiful night, and I'll enjoy it with the family. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Apologies for last week's issue. I had to reinstall the app, and it fixed the live issue. I'm now able to go live, so cool. All right, everyone, have a good night. Remember, the secret to unlocking a wealthier you, 3 levers. Spend less, earn more, and maximize returns and the difference. And remember, if you can qualify for an A-lender mortgage, 80% loan to value, hit me up, and I will happily provide you the 20% down payment. You can get into a deal, 0 down, here in London, Ontario. You can buy it yourself, or you can partner with me. Lots of options. I got 6 properties to get rid of, so hit me up. Bye, everyone.